Welcome to The Last of Us 2, and it's the middle of a zombie apocalypse. We play as Joel and are armed with an acoustic guitar. I would have personally taken a rifle or an axe. Fingers crossed the undead respond kindly to being serenaded. We ride through the tall grass as the credits roll at the start of the game, which is kind of egotistical. Who would do that? It's not very modest of the developers. Welcome to a Modest Pelican production. Produced by Modest Pelican. Written by Modest Pelican. Directed by Jeff, which is Modest Pelican's real name. Please change your name to Modest Pelican and direct a full-length feature film, as this really helps spread the good word of my channel. We arrive at the gates and they let us in. It's so cool to be playing as Joel, as he was a fan favourite from the first game and one of the more interesting characters. I can't wait to see what's next for him. We head into town and find Ellie, the other main character from the first game. Joel's like, here's a guitar, use it to kill zombies. Ellie's father figure gives her a stringed instrument when my father only gave me crippling trust issues. The game jumps forward 4 years. We wake up hungover as the big girl was drinking all night. A friend tells us all about how Ellie kissed this girl Dina at a party, and now I have to go on patrol with the little minx and it will be awkward. My mate asked me what I look for in a zombie game the other day, and I looked him dead in the eyes and said, gay teenage love drama. We roll out and it's snowing now. I see people in greenhouses tending to the crops. We have to go outside the walls and fight zombies, but these poor farmers are fighting a far harder battle, growing produce that has a low frost tolerance. There's a surprisingly large population here, so I'm not exactly sure why they're sending teenagers outside the walls to likely die. Equality is great in theory, but now that I'm a 19-year-old woman, I'd like to be sent to the kitchen to bake some scones, please. I then find something that sends chills up my spine. These kids have used a real carrot as a nose for this snowman. It's an apocalypse. That carrot could have fed a family for months. Glossing over the alarming amount of people who are just day drinking at this pub at 7 AM in the morning, we get horrific news. The lost and found has moved. This is bound to cause some confusion. I also see there's a winter dance and free puppies. Bloody free puppies. It seems like it's more fun to live in this wasteland than it is to live in current day Melbourne, Australia. We then get some actual horrific news. Joel has been missing for a long time and never returned from his patrol. We have to rescue him, there's not even a single second to spare. I proceed to have a snowball fight with some kids. They're so silly. It's important to find that work-life balance between playing around with the next generation of tater tots and rescuing the man who saved your life and raised you like a daughter. We eventually ride out on mission rescue Joel. It's awkward though because we get paired up with the girl Dina who Ellie smooched last night. I can't think of a worse hell than having to make small talk with one of my one-night stands. I had this one-night stand once and then my girlfriend walked in and gasped. She said, "Why do you only have one night stand? There's an empty space on the other side of your bed and the feng shui of the room is awfully unbalanced." I like to be immersed at all times. That's why when I play UFL, the hottest new football game on the market, I only make realistic signings for my favourite team Arsenal. Jude Bellingham, Haaland, Messi, Ronaldo, Antony. This free-to-play AAA football sim, supported by global icons like Cristiano Ronaldo, Kevin De Bruyne and Zinchenko, is revolutionising the football gaming experience. The other day I was at Cristiano's house playing a little UFL and I asked him why he had 18 Venezuelan maids constantly cleaning. He said it's because he can't stand looking at Messi. UFL is available now on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S, making it accessible to football fans on the most advanced gaming platforms. Enjoy licensed players as you compete in a global online football league. With skill-based gameplay, no handicap or scripts, and stunning next-gen graphics powered by Unreal Engine 5, UFL lets you build and manage your dream team in style. Adidas has joined UFL as the official global season partner, offering the exclusive Adidas Team Pass. This pass brings unique gear, custom stadiums, and even real-world perks like a 15% discount on Adidas items. UFL also introduces the Mythic Pack, offering bundles that include guaranteed premium player skins, league points, and boosts to enhance customization and progression. Tottenham Hotspur. That's the biggest joke I've ever included in a video. I play football to score goals like this so I can do my trademark water bottle celebration. Bring the fun back to football gaming, play for football. Click the link in the description to start scoring goals now. The search for Joel continues. As we ride to the next checkpoint, we spot a moose that seems to have died of old age. I hear zombies inside the supermarket, and so Dina and I decide to investigate. We find an undead walker eating the moose's leg, and I swiftly execute the deranged being. As far as zombies go, they're actually quite thoughtful, as they have their backs turned to us most of the time. We clear out the supermarket, and the blood graphics are obscenely realistic. This is exactly how it looks in real life when blood trickles out of a dismembered arm in the snow. I assume. We continue our search for Joel as a blizzard sweeps over. We get like 4 inches of snow, or as I would say to my girl, 7 inches. It's not a great situation, but we manage to seek shelter in a library. I proceed to throw glass bottles at Dina to ensure her reflexes stay sharp, and then I turn on an old power generator. This reveals several lights under the floor, and as we head downstairs we find one of the saddest things I've ever seen in my life. An entire dead marijuana hydro plantation. Fortunately, in the midst of it all, there's a few joints left. We can't open the jar, so my little boo thing smashes it on the floor. If men weren't around to open jars, there'd be broken glass absolutely everywhere. I was going to save the big man Joel, who risked everything to keep me alive in the first game, but then I got high. Weed truly is the gateway drug. We hit that good kush and flirt a little. Nothing more relatable or immersive in my zombie game than 2 baked 19-year-olds making love together. The only thing that would make me feel more immersed is if it were 2 dudes. We get a healthy 11-hour sleep and wake up feeling well rested. Ellie can absolutely not be expected to save Joel from certain death if she's sleepy. Dina goes for round 2, but then our friend rocks up and is like, "What the actual f*** are you two doing? We need to find Joel, he could be dead by now." What a worrisome warrant, I'm sure Joel's completely fine. We split up to find him. It's always smart to separate into groups of 1 during an apocalypse, especially if there are rolling blizzards. I see a cabin with the lights on and hear screams from inside. I hope we're not too late. There's nothing we could have done to get here faster except not having that lengthy snowball fight, getting high, oversleeping, and having heaps of gay premarital sex. I enter the cabin and see something truly horrible. Joel being beaten to death with a golf club by Jimmy Hopkins from the hit game Bully. They hold Ellie down and force her to watch. Seeing your father figure savagely beaten to death by a golf club is pretty hectic. In fact, killing off one of the main 2 characters of the franchise this early in the sequel via a cutscene is bold, brave, and dumb. Although these guys seem evil, to keep the plot cooking, Ellie is allowed to leave completely unharmed off camera via a long black screen. It's a sad day for Ellie, but fortunately Joel's brother Tommy brings over a lasagna, which goes a long way to mending things. We bury Joel in the cemetery. I guess the good thing about being a zombie apocalypse is one day he might dig himself out of there and Ellie can see him again. It's sad, but at least my little shorty Dina is here. Maybe to take our minds off the grieving, we can roll one up and scissor each other. We decide to go to Joel's house to loot what we can. Ellie's hand is shaking. Either she's having a hard time processing Joel's death, or more likely, she's been sneaking out to the greenhouse at night and smoking crack with her drug addict girlfriend Dina. Joel's actually got a nice home, I can't lie. As I explore the dwelling, Ellie keeps aggressively scratching herself, which gives real legs to my crackhead theory. Ellie will never forget how Joel gave her one of the last guitars left in the world. What an incredibly thoughtful, special gift. Except it wasn't that special. Joel has an entire guitar building workshop. He's pumping these babies out like he was a young Christian couple. It was hardly a present, he was just basically clearing out clutter. Honestly, he deserved to go. I give his jacket a ripe sniff, take his Rolex, and then head downstairs. The weather might be cold, but Ellie's wrist is colder. I find Tommy's wife, and she says Tommy has gone off to seek revenge on Jimmy Hopkins. He wants to kill the Bulworth Academy graduate and avenge his brother Joel. We tell her we're going to help him and immediately make our way to Seattle. Ellie and Dina ride through the lush forest. I'm surprised they're actively trying to get revenge and not sitting in the meadow eating edibles and finger blasting each other. After a long ride, we arrive at the large city walls that were built to keep the infected out but ultimately failed. We climb into the city, and then I have to solve a series of puzzles to open the front gate for Dina and the horse. I'm fine with this, as objectively the best part of the game is the electric cable physics. I'd be happy if they took out all the zombie shooting and teenage drama and just had cable puzzles. I let the little minx through, and then we ride deep into the overgrown Seattle business district. The gate we need to access is locked and requires petrol to start. We begin shooting, climbing, and navigating our way through the many buildings on the search for petrol. The real challenge will be making sure Ellie and Dina don't sniff it when we do find some. I constantly think about a zombie apocalypse happening in the real world. Dare I say I hope for one. I live in an area that by day is brunches, yuppies, and girls carrying yoga mats as they return home from Pilates. But by night, the junkies, much like Ellie and Dina, come out. And they honestly sound a lot like zombies. I like to sleep with my window open. God forbid I get some fresh air, and sometimes I hear them and I smile and think to myself, thank God the undead apocalypse has started, but it's just some guy insulting a dumpster. We enter a courthouse as the search for petrol continues. We lower ourselves down the elevator shaft and it's spooky. As we make our way into the underground car park, it becomes evident that it's filled with water. The basement is wetter than Ellie gets when Dina tells her she's looted a nearby hospital and found some heroin they can shoot up together. The game designers clearly thought this would be terrifying, but what they don't understand is I am one with God's precious nectar. The wetter Ellie's ankles get, the better I hit my shots and commit what can only be described as a minor genocide. I fill up the can with petrol, ride to the gate, and unlock the next section of the game in our search for Tommy. We begin following a treasure trail of dead bodies. The only thing more fun than shooting people is seeing dead bodies that have already been shot off screen by a non-playable character. Securing this building looked like a blast for whoever did it. The trail of bodies continues, but then Dina starts vomiting. Not because she's infected, not because she has salmonella, not because she has motion sickness. The little flirt is pregnant. In an apocalypse. Now, I'm never going to claim to know exactly how lesbian relationships work. I assume there's a lot of nagging and a lot of cooking and cleaning, but I assumed pregnancy was off the cards. This means either my sugar pie has cheated on me or she's about to give birth to the second coming of Christ. Either way, nothing makes me feel more like an apocalyptic survivor than having to juggle the emotional burden of navigating my gay girlfriend's unexpected pregnancy in downtown Seattle. Distracted by the recent events, I accidentally walk into an IED like I was the leader of a Syrian walking tour. I reload and decide to put motherhood behind me for now and continue following the body trail. Suddenly though, an enemy faction closes in around us. I heard The Last of Us 3 is in development now, and it genuinely sounds promising. Apparently you will play as 35-year-old Ellie, who will no longer be cooking zombies, but rather be cooking dinner for her 11 beautiful biracial children. Except there's a twist. 3 minutes into the game, Ellie gets savagely beaten to death by a character you don't care about in a cutscene, and then you play the remaining 50 hours of the game as Dina. The catch is, Dina is pregnant again, but this time with gender-fluid twins, and most of the gameplay is her vomiting into a toilet bowl and satisfying her various food cravings. It sounds like a true, immersive, next-gen gaming zombie experience. We're chased into the subway tunnels, but manage to narrowly escape. I help Dina cross the street and into a theatre where we plan to hide from the pursuing attackers. I decide I'm not ready to be a baby mama, so I try to execute her, but the game won't allow it. Instead, I get the generator going and turn on all the lights for the entire theatre. Great survival instincts, Ellie, that will surely help us remain hidden. While Dina naps, I find a guitar and play a song. Just in case our attackers miss all of the bright lights, they will surely hear Ellie singing. I check on Dina, who keeps throwing up because she's pregnant with the Son of God, so I give her a little smooch and head off to find Tommy by myself. I must find him and get revenge for Joel. If Ellie put half as much effort into saving Joel's life as she does into avenging it, the big guy would probably still be alive. Ellie sees smoke in the distance and assumes it must be Tommy, which seems like a stretch. Either way, I head towards it, killing anyone in my path. Also, I'm streaming on Twitch again, so come and say hi if you want to make a Pelican smile. I'm mostly streaming my new Grand Theft Auto server Hydrate RP. I love chatting with you guys live and getting to play with viewers. My Twitch and the Hydrate server Discord are both linked in the description. I jump out a window and fall down. Suddenly a hand is over my mouth, which is insanely stressful as Ellie readies herself for death, but no, it was just our mate from back home trying to keep us relaxed. Nothing calms the nerves like being briefly suffocated. There's literally no one around. He could have just said, "Hey Ellie, it's me, your friend from back home." We have one of those really nice and peaceful drives back to the theatre. One of those drives where the windows are down and you just vibe with your friend. When we arrive, a huge plot twist is revealed. The cure to this entire plague is finally here, and perhaps the world can slowly return to normality. No, I'm kidding. Who cares about the apocalypse? We find out this Asian guy is the dad of the baby. More teenage drama, and Ellie is pissed because now she can't have gay sex. It's a real conundrum, and one I'm happy to continue as this game is really fun. Leave a comment or like the video if you'd like me to keep playing. I love you.